Hi there, I'm Marilyn Opitz, otherwise known as BibaGirrrl, and I'm going to be showing you how to do a fun makeup look. It's what I would do as my natural daytime look, but for me, it's what I wear all the time, just day-to-day basis, but for many people, it's what they would do more in the evening. Most people don't have to do as much as I do, but I enjoy wearing makeup. I'm a makeup junkie and I live for it. So, first thing I'm going to do to start out is a base, like a primer. It's by Loreal. It's the Loreal Studio Secrets Magic Perfecting Base. That's a mouthful. I'm going to start by putting that all over my skin, as it's a great primer. Do it everywhere. I take it out of the glass jar that it comes in, and I put it in like a little travel thing. It's a nice pasty, kind of lightweight but still kind of pasty primer. But once it's on your skin, you don't feel it at all. It's great in terms of evening out your pores. Gives you kind of like a nice matte look. Helps your makeup stay better. For a long time, I have very oily skin. I'm 46 years old and I still have oily skin. I never stopped being oily after being a teenager. So I resisted primers for a long time because I thought they'd make me break out. But it turns out I was wrong, and they actually help quite a bit in terms of matting your face, matting the oil, and my skin still is oily, but it definitely helps your makeup stay better, and you don't have to add powder to your face or get that oily shine look as soon as you would if you didn't have one. So then the next thing I'm going to do is concealer. And concealer I'm using is by a company called, it's always hard for me to find concealers I like, but this is a kind of a thick consistency in the concealer. It's not thick, or it's not thin or runny. It's a nice thick paste almost as it goes on. And this is by a company called Grafton, which is a professional company. I'm a licensed hairstylist, almost 30 years, as well as a makeup artist. And it's a company that does makeup for professionals, but they also are private label, and what they do is you can create your own line of makeup using them. So when they come, it's completely blank, and you could do your own logo and a salon or a celebrity, so there's actually maybe only a few companies that make all the makeup that is sold, and they have a few of these companies that make it for everybody. But that's for those private lines. So I started using it because I liked it. I saw it at a conference, and I liked the consistency, and I actually buy that concealer in bulk because I like it so much. And it's the same thing. It doesn't break me out. Has a nice mattifying factor. I put it around my eyes, around the hollows where you kind of get the dark circles, and I'm using it with a little triangle sponge. I like the triangle sponges best because you can get in to the corners and the crevices, get it around the areas, and it kind of helps neutralize the redness. Now, because like I said, my skin is oily, I used to do concealer, thick foundation, and then powder. And then I decided to switch, and I started just using, this is the Loreal True Match. I use a lot of Loreal products. True Match powder and W3. That's my color. And it's a great little thing. They come with their own sponge, and that's great for touching up. But and then it has a mirror. And so I use my same triangle sponge that I use, and no, I don't waste anything. So the flip side, I do in the powder, and then I come back, and I just put that powder all over my face as my foundation. And I need a little more there. As you can see, I'm already neutralizing a lot of the red that was in my face, because I would say, pretty ruddy. It's gotten better over time, but pretty ruddy face, and I've kind of covered up any blemishes, and kind of made my skin look like a clean slate to start to add the color. I'm just kind of putting it all over, getting around where the redness is. I'm also going over where I had the concealer. There's one little blemish that I have to add a little more to. Cover that up. No, I have to cover that up. I'm doing this in a really gorgeous day with great daylight. Daylight's like the best. If not, if you have like an adjustable makeup mirror where you can make the lighting more to most like daylight as possible, that's the best. Fluorescent light is very hard on makeup. So the next thing I'm going to do is also L'Oreal. So far I've done 3 L'Oreal products, 1 non-L'Oreal, but I tend to, right now I'm using a mix of some high-end but mostly lower-end. I love to do drugstore, but I also like the higher-end line. So, but for the most part, you can really get some great deals at what's happening with the lower-end, the Revlon, the L'Oreal, Rimmel. So you can get some really great deals. For me is I find that high-end can break me out just as much as some low-end, or some low-end can stay better than high-end, or high-end can be good too. It's more like trial and error what works the best for your face. So this is the L'Oreal True Match Blush, which since I like the powder, I thought, oh, I'll give the blush a try. And it is the the powder was W3. I don't know if I make sure I said that. The powder is a True Match C78, which you would think would be working for someone who's darker, but I like a more dramatic blush. So, and the best thing about them is they still have that nice pretty mirror, and they come with their own little brush. So I'm gonna, and the brush is angled, as you can see. I've used it a few times. So I go under the hollow of my cheek. I have a round face, obviously, and I go find my cheekbone right there, and then go up. From that. Now, one thing is it's nice about blushes now is most of them aren't a flat color. They have a little shimmer, and shimmer actually makes you look a little more youthful. And I had years where I would do blushes that were more flat, and now I found that as I'm in my 40s, the shimmer really helps. It looks a little less harsh. You can still do the contouring, like I'm going back over and contouring a little bit more where underneath where the hollow is, where I kind of want to contour my face a little bit, but I'm going over that. But at the same time, I don't look like, I was, hit in the face with something bright red. It's a very soft look, nice. So we've got that done. Then what I'll do is I have a powder brush. This is a set of little makeup brushes that I really like. They're purse size by Essence of Beauty, and they have them at CVS, or I've also seen them at Ulta. Bed Bath & Beyond, I think, has them. I like them. They're purse size. You can, they have a nice variety of shapes, and they feel good. So I'm just going to go back over with that. And one thing I do is I only put, when I go back over, just to finish, do a little finishing, is I go down the very center of my nose. Some people contour on either side with a darker. I find that, you can do that, but when, like, I wear glasses sometimes, or sunglasses, you can end up with a real funny line when you're contouring, gets messed up, and so sometimes, I just do a little bit more powder just down the center, a little powder here down the center, little powder everywhere, just kind of neutralize everything, just kind of finish. There we go. Next step is lips. I'm using a Revlon Color Stay pencil in Plum. Now, you know, they always say now, oh, don't use a dark lip liner, don't use a dark lip liner. Well, it all depends on what color of lips you're trying to do, and how you're trying to, what look you're trying to achieve. I find that people do dark lip liner and a light lip. Yes, that looks bad. But if you're really trying to reshape your lips, it helps to have more of a darker color to really help blend. Now you can practice with a lighter. You can use it, you know, whatever feels right for you. For me, I like to really get in there and do a nice Cupid's bow, where it goes up and then down and then up again. And you can get that. For me, I like a little more dramatic and do a really great Cupid's bow. And I'm going over it, and I'm not just doing one line. I'm kind of diffusing it. So thicker. But the best thing about color stay is, a little bit there. The best thing about color stay is it does help your lipstick stay on, and their whole color stay line is really great. And I'm kind of going over and over. I'm getting it so that it's, and I'm kind of blending it, kind of taking it from that line and just kind of going over. This way it helps when you put your lipstick on, it helps your lipstick stay better. Anyone who's ever put lipstick on and then gone out to lunch and eaten a salad knows that even though they say it's supposed to be 18-hour, 24-hour lipstick, blah, 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 it doesn't stay. But if you do this with your lip liner and kind of fade it out, and this is also great for weddings and special occasions. When I've done many brides' lips, so for weddings, and if you kind of do this, and it could be a pale pink, it doesn't have to be this shade, but if you do this, and when you put your lipstick over, when that lipstick wears off, you still have this. And this also prevents, when your lipstick wears off, you don't just have that solid line. So you still have a little bit of color that's left, and or definitely some color left, so that when your lipstick fades, you've still got color that you created with the lip liner. So then the next color I'm going to do for a lipstick this is a Chanel color. It's one of my favorite colors ever. It's Cocoa Pink. I've worn it off and on for years. It's the spring. I thought I'd do pink, and it's kind of like a fun purpley kind of pink. And some people would wear it like this and they'd be like, oh my god, it's so bright. It's kind of like a purpley. But one thing I do with it, and I could if I was going out for the evening and I wanted something really dark, and I would just keep this. But one thing I do for daytime is this is another grafting color like the concealer. It's a color called Pink Angel, and I take the Pink Angel, and that's like a fun kind of beige. It's almost like a beige nude, but it's a pink nude, and then I go over the bright pink. Now what this does is it keeps the shimmer of that Cocoa Pink of the Chanel, but at the same time it kind of like cuts the intensity, and it gives it more of like a mauve, kind of a mauve nude. As one thing I've noticed as I got in my 40s and I'm older, the really darker, a lot of people wearing the dark lipstick, dark red, or even the bright red. It can age you. It has to be the right shade of red. If I do red, I tend to do more of a corally red, a softer corally red, and then I can also use that same Pink Angel to kind of soften it, so it's not the super bright red what I call like a 50s pinup red. I find that now that I'm in my age group, I feel like it's a tad harsh. But if I still want to do that look, I do that Pink Angel on top, and it kind of softens it. So now I'm going to move on to gloss. And the next gloss I'm using, I love the lip glosses from Bath and Body Works. And I like a gold shimmer, so this is called the Rich Toffee Truffle from their Liplicious line of their lip glosses. And I love their lip glosses. I think their lip glosses are the best. They feel good, they taste good, they have a fun feel to the lips. Got a little too much on there. I'm just gonna, and don't hesitate. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. Makeup is fun. I consider makeup is like crayons and Play-Doh and all rolled in together, and fun food all run in together. And see there now, I've blotted a little bit. I've increased my lip size. This kind of blot where the Cupid's bow is. I've increased my lip size by doing this. I drew my lips a little bigger than the line, and there's just a little bit more that I need to go. Sometimes if you go out a little too far, you can take your little corner of your back to that sponge and just dab. There we go. Perfect. So now my lips are done. Glossy, a nice pink, soft, but it still has some color there. And all of a sudden, gee, I look like I had lip injections without the paint. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm moving on to eyes. Eyes, I like to go back and prime a little bit more. This is a Loreal primer. This is one of the higher end things I use. This Loreal primer can last up to a year because you use so little of it. You just squeeze out just a very dab. You can use maybe a little more than that. And let me use my mirror here. Go back on your eyes. You don't want to have it glop it on. Very faint amount is all you need. And as a primer, what it does, it helps keep your eyeshadow from creasing. And my eyes, you know, because I have, like I said earlier, I have oily skin, my eyeshadow always would crease. It still will crease by, you know, the evening. Okay, if I'm doing this at, say, 9:30 in the morning, by, you know, 10:30 it might be creasing, but it won't crease 2 hours from now. And to me, that's amazing. And it also helps keep the shadow from moving. It doesn't kind of bleed. It doesn't. So it's great to give your eye that great base. So the two bases were the L'Oreal Studio Secrets base, and then the higher end Loreal. Now everybody was wondering, what's Loreal? It's Carol spelled backwards. The lady who started the company, her name was Carol. So a lot of fun things, little tidbits there. So the next thing I'm going to move to is an Almay kit. It's the Intense Powder Shadow. It's one for greens because my eyes are on the green side. I like it. It's a kind of like a coffee brown and like a medium kind of pinky frost color, and then a light kind of a little bit more beige yellow. They all have a little bit of a shimmer, but not a heavy-duty shimmer, not too frosted, and but it's a nice, fun look for your eyes. So I'm going to I have an angled brush that's with that same Essence of Beauty kit, taking that, and I'm going to start in the crease of my eye and kind of go around my eye like that. And the best thing I like about this angle brush is it's fluffy enough that you can kind of blend it out once you've done the crease. I'm going to pull my hair back a little bit. Same thing here. Go around. Now usually when I'm doing this on my own without the camera, I would have a piece of glitter from something. I would have my hair all back. And I'm just going back over the crease. I'm trying not to do it too far in here because that's where I tend to have a hollow, and that's where I was going over with the concealer. I tend to do it more outside, and then taking it, it's almost like a V. You think this is the V right here, go over the V from the corner, and this part of your eye would be the point of the V. So V here. And then I take a little bit of the shadow, this will be part of the smoky, take a little bit of the shadow and go under that eye. Okay, now the next step is, this is another brush in that same Essence Beauty kit. Now I just do the highlight, and sometimes I use the pink one, but I like this beige one. It's kind of like a nice yellowy beige. It's also like a couple shades lighter than the foundation. So let's say if I want to go in here, it's great for helping to cancel out that shadow of that indentation there. And then I'm going above. I'm doing everything above and below the brown that I put in the crease. So this is 2 colors. You can do it with 3. Sometimes I'll do like a blue with that brown and then the same color highlighter. That's fun. Or even I'll do a green in the brown. Sometimes I'll do it, mix it up, purples, all kinds of things. It's kind of fun to do. This is kind of like a simple basic with the 2. I'll make some other videos. We'll see how I do here and make some other videos to show you some other tricks. Just going over, and when I take that creamy yellow color, I'm putting underneath my brows, and then I'm slightly going over a little bit of where I did the crease, and so then it doesn't look like as harsh of a line. And then if you want to think, oh, well, I want to do a little bit more definition, go back over, bring a little more out. And there, see, my eyes are a little more defined. As you can see, it's like my face is like being sculpted while I'm doing my makeup. That's the one thing is people don't realize you can create bone structure that you don't have, and accentuate things that you would like to be better, and kind of play down the things you don't want to see. Now for my eyebrows, I do a couple of things. I either do the voluminous, which is Loreal, which is this angled, it's an eyeliner pen, and I either do that or it's a color stay eyeliner, which is more of a sharper point on it. And most people would say, oh my god, if you do use these things in your eyebrows, it's way too harsh, but I've got a trick for them. This way, because sometimes I use these as eyeliners too, so this way you can kind of use something that you wouldn't normally use, but you wouldn't think it, but it can cross over. I actually like these better than pencil, because if you sweat and you happen to rub your eyebrow, sometimes that pencil can smear, and then you really look like, you know, something out of the Addams Family or something. So with these pens, I'm going to use the finer one just because it's a little easier. I'm going to go slightly draw over my own eyebrows for a little more definition. I had spent years trying to get my eyebrows to look, you know, more finished looking and more pulled together. And I'm not drawing a heavy line. I'm just drawing it is over my own eyebrows in the motion of the eyebrow hair. Now that's one thing I'm doing here. And I'm going to do the same now, because no 2 eyebrows grow the same, but I like them to look more equal. So I'm filling in. This one has a little bit more of a gap, and I'm filling in. Doing the same thing here, going over lightly. Now if it looks a little harsh, the next step helps blend it in. This is basically this is an Ardell eye pencil that I got at Sally Beauty Supply. One end is, when you get it, it's like this super long pencil. And I've used that too for eyebrows, but sometimes I'll also use it as a liner. But I really like with it is the brush, and the brush has a cap. So most brushes that come with a little eye brush kit, it ends up being loose, it can break off. This little eyebrow brush stays so nice with this little cap. So what I'm going to do is, now that I've drawn on my brows, then I take the brush and I just go over. So I'm brushing that color into my own eyebrows. And then I'm doing the same thing over here. With these Color Stay, it's the Revlon Color Stay pen and the L'Oreal voluminous eyeliner pen. This was the other one. Sometimes I alternate with. Sometimes I don't. This with the angle, I put that angle right on the angle of my eyebrow. Either one of those. Once you blend it in like this, if you sweat, or if you're exercising, or you end up doing something later on in the day, just in the course of the day, it's a hot, humid day, you go like that, you're not smeared. I had a lot of embarrassing moments where, later on you're doing something, look in the mirror, oh my God. But see, now my brows have a little more definition, a little darker, but not a harsh look. So now the next step is eyeliner. It's another L'Oreal product, but I also alternate as well. Sometimes do the Revlon Color Stay eyeliner pen. The Revlon Color Stay pen has its own sharpener in here, which is great. Sometimes I use those. Sometimes I use the L'Oreal. The L'Oreal is called Carbon Black Pencil Perfect. I always use jet black. But I tend to do, like, I'm the coupon queen with makeup coupons, so whichever's on sale and whichever one I have a coupon for. So now I'm going along my lash line with this pencil, and it's great because it's creamy. If you want to take a brush and blend it out more, I like more of a dramatic look. And it's a pretty thick line, but then when I come out to the corner, I'm going out a little farther and going up. And then going down, same kind of thing. Lash line. Out. Sometimes I do my waterline in here. Sometimes I don't. I'll do it. And as you can see, my natural daytime is most people's evenings. But this is, when people think of me, this is what I look like. And this is how I get there. This is what I call basic BibaGirrrl face. I'm going down, drawing down to there's no gap between the lash line and the liner. And I just go up a little bit, go a little thicker in the corner, go to where that little V was, and go out, do a little bit more over here. Same thing underneath that I did on the other side. You think in your head, thinner, fatter, fatter, thinner. So from where the outside is, it's a little fatter, going into a little thinner. And then we go here, do my waterline. And sometimes, you need a little extra cleanup. So I like my angle, and then kind of go under. Just a little dab. Clean up. Same thing here. Sometimes you can kind of blend it and clean it a little bit more, so it's a little less. There we go. And then the last step is mascara. Now, once again, it's another L'Oreal. My favorite mascara in the world is the Loreal Voluminous with the angle brush. The angle brush is fantastic. A lot of mascara companies lately are doing almost like mascara wars with all these special extra brushes, but they're all plastic. This is more of the thick bristle, like that. And one thing I'm doing, after you pull it out, you take it, kind of wipe off the extra on the inside of the cap. And it also helps mush it around through the brush. And it's a mascara trick here. I put the angled brush on my lashes and I kind of wiggle it up and wiggle it. And what I love is that corner of that angle really gets in there, and I'm able to pull the lashes out. Many people ask me if I have false eyelashes. Now some people just do, 1 or 2 strokes. For me, I like a really fun, bold lash. So it's a little more dramatic. It gives you a little more contrast from what I call the more natural looking eye. Natural for me. And then I go over it and over it. And then I use the corner to separate with. See a little bit more. And sometimes when I'm just looking at a different angle, I see I need to do a little bit more of my eyebrow here. But that's because I'm a perfectionist. There. Go back to my mascara. Spend more time on mascara than most people do on anything. You want everything, actually. Then I go back under. Kind of get those lower ones. But I don't do the lower ones all the way across. I just do a few lower. Same thing here. Go here. Put the angle of the brush on my lash. Just kind of sit it there and then wiggle. And then I go back over. And I'm taking the whole curve of the brush and pushing it up. And then the same thing here. Go back over, go back over. Kind of just use it a little bit to separate, but as you're separating, you're putting more on. There we go. There we go. Now I have super lashes. And makes it fun. You make a fun first impression. You can see, this is not everyone's natural daytime look. This is my natural daytime look. But now one last thing, I go back, just as a finish. Go back and do my little powder again, same brush. Over. Just see, this also helps get any little dust from eyeshadow or little mascara flecks or anything else. And there we go. So I hope you've enjoyed these tips. You can use them for all colors, all brands, and have fun. The main thing about makeup is that it's fun. It's not brain surgery, it's not life and death. It's fun and enjoy it. You can find me on Facebook at BibaGirrrl, BibaGirrrl, 3 R's, L, BibaGirrrl, and at on Twitter at BibaGirrrl, spelled the same way. I also have a blog, which is a celebrity beauty fashion blog. The Facebook page is sort of the day-to-day updates of all kinds of different gossip and beauty and fashion. So if you like this, let me know. I'll make some new ones. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.